Hi, this is Kevin Borich on Retrospectives with John Broughton on KC Radio 97.7 FM.
Fantastic. Well, firstly, congratulations on this, I guess we call it a double CD.
Thank you. I just did I've got to tell you, this is just news. I just did an interview with Radio Galari in Broome, right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and a guy called Ron there. He's actually played the one of those long tracks, and it was the Encounters track about the UFOs.
Oh, yeah.
And about our intelligence and the rest of the universe and all that. You know, we're not the only guys here. Well, you know, if you want to think that, great. But it's great, whatever you think. But he's actually played it on air. I went, mate, I can't believe that you've actually played it. Oh, yeah, it's cool.
That's brilliant.
Anyway, sorry about that. I've just been legitimised as a soundscape artist. So there you go.
What I was saying is, I guess a double CD for any artist at any time is ambitious. At what time did you realise, or at what point did you realise you had enough material there for a second disc?
Well, once we started recording, we had the two on side two, which are really long, which I call now specifically designed for DJs so they can go and have lunch and just put the tracks on and then go away and have a nice relax while my songs play for that amount of time. No, yeah, we had some inspirational sort of periods that I manufactured, and then I manufactured it into song and to a reason, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, the playing was instantaneous on those, and I thought, well, it sounded inspired to me. It was fresh. It wasn't worked out. It was off the cuff, and I thought, well, they're great pieces, but they're just instrumental. And then I managed to work out why they were wanted to be, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And fashion the reason and song around them, and so that's what really the second disc is about. The first disc is more song structured and worked out, you know, previously, and then rearranged and done that. But the other one is more free flowing, and I just thought that it was really inspired, and thought, well, hey, we can't all fit on one, so it's going to be two. So it's one of those fantastic accidents and things that happen that are good.
You've been battling through some health issues in recent times, and I guess that might have slowed down the recording process to a degree.
Yeah, it did, because there was a few backtracks down on the first disc that I had done. That's why there's different players on them, like Mick Skelton on drums and my son on drums, and so then I started the album, and then I got the big fantastic news that I had cancer. And so, of course, all the breaks go on, and then you focus on healing. And then when you've come through, you go, what was I doing? And you pick up the bits, because, you know, that was a roller coaster ride to the great depths of chemotherapy, which kills all your cells, so it kills all your will. And you're sort of about to give up. And then they say, well, they can't give you any more because you'll die. Go away and grow back. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
And then I hooked back into to get, you know, the reason why I'm alive, to play and to record and to, you know, try and entertain people with my music.
Do you feel more of an attachment to this record because of having to record it in between all those struggles you were going through at the time than what you would do?
I think there's a certain depth there because of that.
Yeah.
You know, because your mortality doesn't really come up a lot, and it does. You know, when you're facing that and you're going through that, you know, I was on the you know, the deathbed, going, well, I've had a good life. You know, what are you complaining about? You know, it's been great. If this is what it is, that's what it is. And fortunately, everything that we did worked, and And so, yeah, you're right. I didn't really actually think of it like that before until you've just mentioned that. Why it is called Totem, because Totem is like a native thing from the American Indian that is a statement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like a historical sort of statement sort of thing. So it seemed to all fall into place that when, like things do for me, you know, like songs do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, you've touched on an angle that I didn't really realise, because there's a lot of emotion in it, you know.
So overall, how are things now health-wise?
Health-wise, good. I'm just picking up the bits. Like bits are falling off, so I'm just getting them stuck back in. Yeah, like my teeth. I mean, the radiation. When you hit with radiation, it killed my salivary glands, which you don't realise what you've got till it's gone. Your salivary glands are very important with your mouth hygiene and your pH balance in your mouth. And of course, it goes acidic when it's not being flushed by your salivary glands, which have been burned out. So then you get tooth decay, and I'd say in 6 years you'll probably need some teeth. And I was having dinner one time, and one of my teeth falls out. I'm going, oh, it must be 6 years. 7 years is coming up. Oh, how lovely. Another anniversary. So I've been going through that. I had to do 40 dives at 14 fathoms, simulated at Wesley Hospital, to prevent a bone disease that you get when your radiated bone is exposed to the atmosphere, which would happen while they're putting implants in your mouth, you know. So, so there I am sitting in a room, 14 fathoms, with a helmet on, getting high-octane oxygen, breathing it to boost my immune system so that wouldn't happen once they've been working on my teeth, and it's still not really finished yet. I've got another 5 weeks before they put my top ones in. So, there I am, sitting in a room with a bunch of other oldies, all in various stages of decay. It's fantastic.
If you could put a common theme or place a common thread that appears on the songs through the album, would there be one?
There's a few themes, because it's not all one thing. You know, there's the sexy boogie, and there's some rock and stuff. But I think as you get older, you think deeper and you become wiser. So I hope it reflects that sort of part of my journey, you know. It's very heartfelt, and some of the songs seem to write themselves in a way, you know. And then you realise that you're just riding the wave and copping the wind, you know. It's something that to me has become more magical when it turns out good.
Yeah. How tough is it for an artist of your vintage to get their new material accepted, particularly through radio and other media?
That's a good question. When you write something like I did, well, when it comes to you, I shouldn't say when you write really, because it's just when it comes to you, and when you and it just seems to happen, and you write something like Going Somewhere, which is this riff that I play in one of my earlier songs, and it doesn't really get played. You're saying, oh well, I'm up against it here.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing some good stuff here, and when I play it live, people go nuts. They love it. Why isn't it on commercial radio? And you feel defeated, and you've done your best, and you've got something that's good, and it's not just you think it's good; it's people think it's good, but they're not getting it through the network, and everyone's not getting it at once like it can be. You get demoralised, and but you soon the passion of just playing seems to wipe it all away and flush it out, and then your passion is still shining when you come off stage and you've done a good show. whether it be in a little pub or in front of 60,000 people, which those both areas I've been in. It's just there, and it's octane, it's fuel that keeps you going, and you realise as you go on that that's your job, and your job is to make people enjoy themselves and connect and get away from the problems and actually end up liking what you do, which is fuel to your fire.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about in the end. Everything else is going to be what it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that, people go, oh, you've been doing it so long, how come you're not, this, and how come you're still carrying your gear and all that stuff, and you go, I got 10 roadies and hold up my hands, you try and be positive.
Yeah.
The thing is, you seem to have missed the commercial boat. So what? It's not all about that. I mean, look, the world is just run by fucking corporations these days. Corporations used to be, at one time, supposed to be for the people. Now they're just for market share and profit. And there's a war. Business is war, just like what's going on in the Middle East. It's ferocious.
Speaking of your gear, there's a fantastic cover art there with made up of a lot of your gear. Tell us about that.
Well, when I thought of the idea of Totem, I thought, well, I can't have a bunch of eagles and stuff, and I had to have it to do with my existence, and those gizmos that I've got are all the gizmos that I do to make a statement, and what better fabric to work with.
It's really, really effective. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to get some T-shirts and all that shit done because they're cool. It's cool. It's turned out cool. My idea turned out cool. I'm so happy when I'm cool.
I love
I think I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hose my ego.
Love the opening track of the bonus disc, Love Train. It really gives your band a chance to stretch out. Tell us about that one.
Which one's that, mate?
Love Train.
Love Train, yeah, that's on disc 2. That's the one I was explaining about the 2, how it grew from like a jam situation and then turned into a song, and then I got that wonderful Steve Hall to play. I thought when he played the opening, he came up and played the trumpet over it, and it turned out that all my playing was like horn lines. He said, "You've constructed horn lines without knowing it," and he backed up my lines with his trumpet a couple of times. We overdubbed them, and I said, "Can you put them? I wanted the muted sound in the trumpet." And then when the lyric comes, just before he comes in, the lyric is, "I felt cold as ice," and he comes in with a muted trumpet. It's really fantastic. I love the way it paints a Miles Davis-y kind of jazzy kind of thing in amongst what I do, on that track.
Another track on that same disc, Motive, is fantastic too, with the incorporation of the speech samples. What inspired that approach?
The same thing. The music started first, and I Cried for You is something that happened to me when I was in cancer. I had a breakdown emotionally, and I was crying, but not just for me. I was crying for the fucking world, and because of the way things are. And then I figured that that's where I could put I Cried for You in, and just in that chorus bit in it. And then I went, well, I was crying for the whole world, and why? And then I come across the Kennedy speech, which sounds to me like he was trying to change things the way the world is run, from the oligarchies and the Illuminatis and the banking sector and the people at the top of the pyramid. So he was trying to change something, and then, probably, a few weeks later he got shot because I didn't want anyone stealing the beans, and blame the Russians. So that, to me, was a fitting thing of a guy that wanted to change something I'm asking the American people, and he's talking about, what he says in the speech.
Yeah.
It's fucking obvious to me. And it just works in there. And then Martin Luther King had to come in because it just had to. And then at the end, it's a beautiful young girl that stood up in front of a huge collection of like a United Nations bunch of hoo-has and said, what are you doing to this world? That's, what's his name? Sort of Asian guy that's always been on the forefront.
No, name escapes too.
Yeah, he has curly hair with the goggles and he's like Japanese kind of looking.
Oh.
He's a pioneer.
Suzuki.
Yes. This is the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, boy, I just think, man, that's why it's called a motive, and it's like a mosaic. It just all kind of fitted.
It is brilliant. It works so well. And we see another side of Kevin Borich, protest singer, with the Soapbox Bitch and Blues. Great title, by the way.
Do you like that? I like the way it's all linked with the capitals, yeah. That's all part of this problem that's causing the world not to be how it should be. The banks have been orchestrating crashes and then buying up all the stuff that they've sold, and because they can get, they've been selling loans that people can't afford and all that stupid stuff that they do to get richer. How much do you want? How much money do you need? The seed of greed was planted by the moguls. They all agreed to change the laws that held the reins, and globalization would succeed. And that's in the other song, which is called There Goes Another Freedom. And the coal seam gas things in there.
Yeah.
Just what they suck the earth dry. They've got no soul, these people. It's just their soul is greed and market share and how much can we suck out of this planet. When you're younger, you don't even know that and you don't even care, and it's just wonderful to be alive. When you get older and you have kids, you go, well, where's the future going to be with it, It's going to be Australia. It'll be a big hole in the ground. We're lucky that we can just make money out of digging a hole and sucking it. It's not very creative.
So true.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I get off the soapbox, Kev, but when you get to my age, it's like, fuck, wake up, these politicians who have never fucking been out and made a living in the normal world. They've all been lawyers, or they've always been, that's their path. They've been a politician, and that's the way you do it. They don't know what the real people feel. They say they do. Some of them, maybe a couple of them come from the farm. They do, but they get laughed at.
Yeah.
They're not smart enough, they're not clear enough, they're educated enough. They're wise because they've grown up on the land.
That track, Soapbox, Bitch and Blues, it's a change in style and mood from the full-on energy of the first four tracks. Are you conscious of creating mood changes when sequencing tracks on a new album?
Yeah, I sort of follow my nose, and I've got that old National Steel guitar, which is a 1930, which speaks to me from that era. It's got that tone, and I've got the beautiful harp playing of Doc Span, and those two boys backing me on those tracks are local boys up in Mullaney Hills. One's called Peter Hudson, who's a fantastic artist. He's had stuff in the Archibald. It's this monster painting of Archie Roach. Huge.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful work. And him and I have hooked up. And Tim Finnegan on bass, upright bass. And I wanted that old authentic sound to make it feel more legitimate of the time. And, I put some low voices in there that try and make it like, well, the banks have fucked it up back in the 1930s. They orchestrated the crash. It's an ongoing thing. And no one's learning about it. Well, it's starting to come out now because of the internet, and there's a wonderful thing that's happened, which is a guy called Foster Gamble, who started this movement called Thrive, THRIVE.com. You go there and watch the movie. It's a wonderful thing. He was brought up in the corporate world as a child, and his father was head of some massive thing. He was educated in Harvard or wherever, some flash thing, and he's turned his back on it all, and obviously inherited, what his father had, and he's got this website, and he's explaining all these things of how I can make this earth better. And you got to see it. It's a really wonderful thing, and it's all done so well that it's groovy to look at. And he goes back into, like the energy of the universe. They've discovered this imprint burnt in rock thousands of years ago. It was burnt in rock by who knows who, but it must be who from them. And and it's about about this energy vortex that's and it comes up in so many ways that you just watch it and you'll see it and you'll go, fuck me, this is something, because there's a historical thing. And then he goes into crop circles, which I'm a fan of, and believe that they're a message from somewhere. And for us to wake up and stop, the payback mentality and my God's better than your God shit.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful movement. You've got to see it and spread the word, because it is a legitimate and well thought out thing. And he goes to some pretty heavy stuff, but in a nice way. He's not sort of got the M16 and telling everyone to be what he thinks. It's very open, an open sort of paradigm thing there happening.
Thrive.com. I will check that out.
Yeah, do. It's a 2-hour thing on the website. It says play the movie. That's cool because you get a bit of his history, and it'll be, first of all, it's all about what we're going to do and poor people and bombs going off and all that. But then it gets into the crux, and it gets some more into lots of juicy things that everyone should know, especially the people who run this planet.
We get another version of the old La-Di-Da's classic on there.
Yeah. I just when I've heard it played on the radio, which I'm so stoked in when I hear it, because I don't get on commercial radio, but because it's turned into a golden oldie, I go, I wish it just sounded a bit more now. So yeah, we did it. And I mean, I play it as an encore at my shows because the people get joy out of it. People go, oh, you're playing that bloody old pop song. Don't you get sick of it? No, I don't. I just play it because it brings back great memories. The intro was me in the back of a transit van sitting behind Swampy Jarvis, who was our roadie and turned into a famous roadie. In the back of our transit van, we had airplane seats in there, so we thought we were really cool. I just learned a couple of jazz chords. I'm sitting behind Swampy's head as we drive home, and I'm going, I'm going to love you. All night doing this, this stupid intro, pretending I'm a slinky nightclub singer, and in sequin dress. Yeah, well, and then it comes to the end of that, and then he goes, well, what happens then? So the rest of the drive was, working out, we're heading home,
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic piece of flashback for me, and I look up there and the people are singing it and going off, and I'm going, oh, this is good.
Yeah. It's a song that's never dated.
Yeah, it's just so cool. I mean, even some young fellas like what's his name? One of those from the UMI.
Yep. Tim Rogers.
Yeah. There was a piece in Rolling Stone that really knocked me out once, and he was saying that was a great inspiration to him, and I'm patting myself on the back. Oh, well, and then lovely that's happened, because it makes you feel like you've done something good, and it's actually legitimate, Because half the time you think it's good, but it's just you.
Yeah.
And you need confirmation, thank you.
Some validation, yeah.
Yeah.
The various styles on the album, would that be somewhat a result of it being recorded at various times and various stages?
Yeah, but I've always been a bit of a, like on my early albums, I've had sort of bossa nova, and I've had tango queen, and when Chuggy tried to sell it in America, they went, "Hey, what sort of a bag is this guy? Is he schizophrenic or something?" And I said, "Well, it's music."
Yeah, exactly.
They have to put you in a fucking bag. It's kind of like that's the market. I'm about music, and I understand all that, and it's logical, blah blah blah. You've got to put it in the space so people. But can't you sort of just play different, some different styles if you think that people are going to like them? And it's really great to do something like Tango Queen in amongst the heavy rock, because I can say, let's go to South America. And open a few door and just and if those songs come, if they come, well, they've got to be played. So they're not coming for no reason. You just play them in your bedroom. I think you might as well play them on stage.
Yeah.
Just like there's a ballad on there too, which that one that's the harmony guitars in it. I really enjoy doing those. I can't really do that live because I can't do it myself twice. I need a bigger band or one of those gizmos that you plug in, which I'm looking for now, that gives you harmony.
Oh, yes, yeah.
That's what's one good thing about technology. Some of these bands use so much technology these days. The drummer plays to a click track. They can have a whole sort of thing, come in through the PA to enhance something. There's a band called the Muse or something. They call them Muse, sort of pop band in England. Even my son's band Cog were doing it, and can enhance their performance with some technology. But my pedals are about as far as I go on. They like the fuzz boxes and stuff like that. But the different styles is entertaining for me. It breaks a certain path. It's another branch on the tree. It's just more music and sort of more ideas, a wider field, different perspectives. Just a bigger binoculars, bigger microscope.
Speaking of your son, both he and your daughter appear on the album. That must give you great buzz.
Yeah, it is fantastic too. There's nothing like having kids to, they're even easy to handle when they're screaming and you just change the nappies. When they get older, they got their own ideas. Yeah. There's a battle going on there. And it's really funny, like my youngest son, who's listening to some screamo music. Listen to this, Dad. He puts it on and it's like, all that's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of going, oh, well, the drummer's good. And, it's nice when he starts singing properly. and then he goes, well, you like it, Dad? And I'm thinking about my mum talking about my music.
Yeah.
Saying, well, it's not quite, she's coming from sort of Frank Sinatra or somewhere. So I kind of sound like Screamo back then. So I'm going, oh, well, things are just rolling on. It's great. And Holly's a great singer. She was a harmony machine. She had been in the car seat in the back when she was really quite young, and still not being able to just sit in the seat, but in the car seat. And I'd have the radio on, and there'd be a song singing. They'd have their commercial radio on, and I'd hear a harmony, and it wasn't coming from the speakers; it was coming from her in the back. She's a harmony machine.
Yeah.
You can just grab onto something and just harmonise with it. It's just got this natural gift. So she's learning how to play the piano and writing stuff. So that's her journey. I've tried to talk my son out of my younger son from being a drummer. It's horrible to have to say, well, you want to do that, but it's very tough out there, and there's not 5 gigs a week like there used to be when I was around.
Yeah.
And you have to have something else as well. The passion will get you through if it's strong enough, but make sure you've got another, iron in the fire to actually earn a regular whatever.
For sure.
Money. Yeah. So, it's not nice to have to do that, but that's the reality of what's happened with the poker machines and entertainment's now coming to your bedroom through your big-ass TV. Yeah. And the people not going out, because if you go out, you get busted for speeding, you get this, it's all congested, but that's what this weekend has been so great. It's been bad weather. People have come out to enjoy themselves and congregate and and get off.
That's
You know?
right.
Yeah.
And just before I let you go, Kevin, what's up for the rest of the year? What's in the fire?
I'm just basically promoting this, and thanks to good people like yourself who get it out there. That's the conduit that we wish for and hope for, and very grateful when we can. I'm just doing more touring. I'm doing some Hendrix shows in Sydney. I'm doing my own shows around that. I'm coming to Melbourne in around the 17th, 18th, 19th. I think I've got the Caravan Club, which is an amazing gig.
Mm-hmm.
That's all in the fire, and just waiting for, you never know what you're going to be doing. I'm writing a book. I'm 60,000 words into that, but that won't be ready for quite a while because I've got this to promote at the moment, and that's something I'm looking forward to. And I've got the rough down, and I've got to finish it off, going through my ups and downs and stupid things I did. And good things I did. So, that's what's sort of happening, and just playing the stuff that I've just recorded and trying to get it out, and that's why I say in the back, think something of it.
Yep. I'm just looking at those words right now.
It was like I was going to say, what I'm going to do, I put so much into this, at least listen to it and think something of it. It's like a bit of a challenge. So, after I down tools on that, I looked at it and go, well, that's good. I'm happy with how it is, and it was very enjoyable doing it with all the people that I did it with, and some of the colours I employed from different other instruments and different artists like Doc Stan and Steve Hall, and all the guys that played on it. I think I've come up with a. It's a totem. it is. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy with it.
No, it's another mighty piece of work. I mean, congratulations on it, and we're so glad that you won the fight health-wise, and we look forward to seeing you on your next trip down to Melbourne.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, and I'm so glad that you've listened to all of the tracks without going, oh, that's too long. But it's good to go and have lunch while you've got them all, eh?
Good on you, Kevin. Thanks again.
Thanks for your time.
All the best.
Bye.
Cheers.